Call me Thanos because I'm collecting stones like you wouldn't believe it, boy. We Today was a pretty good day. We actually met up with my guy who I was hoping to be able to do the first NFT launch with, and we haven't put anything in writing. We haven't even like verbally agreed, but like the vibe is there that they get the vision and I get how I can provide value. So we're just really at this point trying to figure things out as far as what would work best for them and their business. Now, these guys are in construction, and construction is quite a high-paying skill if you know how to leverage it. So they were already looking at building a course. And like I've mentioned, my strategy for working with blue collar enterprises is going to be, at least for stage one, when we're just getting our foundational projects launched. I'm going to launch projects that the NFT acts as a gateway to the platform where they can learn from the entrepreneurs. So for my construction guys, they were already planning on putting together a course. I pretty much said, hey, you could sell your course for more if you did it through an NFT that can distribute funds back to the holders. Now, one of the concerns that my buddy had, his cousin, his partner, I'm cool with both of them. They're cool people. But one of the concerns one of them had was the fact that, okay, if we're giving these people a return on, the money, how long does that go? Is it indefinite? And I didn't get the question at first, but as I was thinking in the car afterwards, well, actually, no, I did get the question at first. We talked about it in the office, but more or less, he was looking at it as like, are we just on the line to pay a infinite return forever? And so we were looking at, okay, how do we utilize the fund distribution aspect of it without us giving 20% on a certain amount of money forever? And I mean, the thing is like when you do construction, a lot of times you're raising money through private money lenders. And so realistically, I mean, if there was no NFT, there was no big raise for the next few projects, they're going to have to raise the money anyways from PMLs. And the only difference is that they're going to have to give that money back versus if they just held onto the money. However, despite this fact, I thought of it in the car, and instead of it being an indefinite return, given these are foundational projects that are going to have education, collaboration access, and other various benefits to owning the NFT, what we're going to do instead is we could set it up so that, let's say, we're offering 20% return, but we're doing that for 8 years. So over the course of 8 years, you'll make 60% on your money. You'll make your money back. On top of that, you get access to educational resources, and you have the opportunity to collaborate with the entrepreneurs. In these guys' case, potentially being a private money line for construction, which from what I got from them, that isn't something that's really been offered from somebody who has a course teaching how to do what they do. So there's a lot of cool factors with the way that this could be set up, just given not many people, if any, have done a construction project through the sale of an NFT. Not many, if any, have done the PML benefit, and then not many, if any, have paid you to learn from them. And so we're potentially looking at doing all three. So this is pretty exciting. I will be swinging over tomorrow to chat some more and iron out some more details, pass some more ideas around. But the thing is like when it comes to business, the people are the most important part of the business. And believe me, working with good partners versus bad partners makes the world of a difference. So these guys, one of them I've been friends with since high school, and he's somebody who I really trust. And his cousin he's also a guy I trust for different reasons, numerological reasons, but they're both good people, and they're both people that I think we can do a lot of cool stuff with going into the future. So essentially, like I mentioned, the idea is we launch foundational projects that are tied to education, and then once proven the concept, when we're starting to work with influencers and people who may have a large following but not a business, we would take the money from other NFT launches, deploy that with our foundational entrepreneurs, in this case, my construction guys, and then we would be able to send out a percentage to the influencers as well as their followers, their customer base, client base, however you want to put it. But essentially, we're raising money in waves. And as we build more and more credibility, our ability to raise just comes down to how many different people we can actually partner and collaborate with. So, like I said, it's code, then content, then collaboration, and then capital as the final piece, which we end up raising through the collaboration itself. So, I know on my to-do list, I had said for the code that I was going to be working on the loan collateral contract and the flight pass. The thing is obviously you don't want to be overly rigid when you're planning out business. And so you do need to pivot. And I didn't even account for this, but given the fact, if we, even if just rewinding the time, if we assumed that we were going to work with these guys and we were going to, I mean, I'm doing this method for for all the foundational projects I'll be doing with this with franchises as well. But essentially, my first few projects are going to be involved with an educational component. And I don't yet have the code built for the platform itself and being able to use the NFT as an access key. So that is something that is a priority to get done. And so I will actually most likely be, not even most likely, I will be developing the front end and the platform that can interact with the NFT to give access to the course itself. So that'll be on the to-do list. We'll we'll go over some other updates as well because the other two things that I took away from the meeting is I need to make sure for one, I mean, I took away a lot of things. For one, my presentation skills need to be improved for sure, but I also need to have a clear and concise way of explaining the taxes and the legalities when it comes to the projects, both for accredited and non-accredited investors. Because initially when we were thinking about this, I was thinking let's go the accredited route. It's easier to raise money from a few people rather than raising money from a bunch of people. Plus, poor people just they tend to come with more problems than rich people. We'll just leave it there. But as far as my guys, they were wanting to have this be something that we could offer to non-accredited people in the event that it's looked at as a security. Given we're selling it as a course, we should be able to bypass that. But obviously, you want to have things in place in case anything's looked at a certain way. You can be like, well, actually, I've got X, Y, and Z already finished, so we're good to go here. But essentially, as far as like a brand goes, that does make more sense because they were looking at releasing the course and using the capital from the course to be able to build their brand, do more stuff with social media, and just scale out their presence on the internet. So the cool thing is doing something novel usually gets some form of attention, and so I can bring that. But we will need to be going over again the legalities when it comes to releasing this to people who may not have $1 million in assets or make 200K a year. It just is what it is. So we'll be going over that. I'll be getting some updates about things tomorrow. It's like 1:40. It's almost 2 a.m. Just got back from Ubering, so definitely need to get my sleep caught up. There's one thing though that I feel like I'm forgetting to mention. What is it? I went over the legalities, the taxes. What is it? I can't remember. If it comes to me, we'll go over it tomorrow. But with that being said, I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.